Hello everyone, and welcome to Imperfect Design. Today we continue our work on design system. Specifically, we will work on the molecules. In the previous videos, we together discover how to make the foundation with the styles of colors, typography, icons, and etc. And also there is video with the beginning of components when we start with the atoms. So if you didn't see it, please check. And today we uncover the package of components called molecules. It's the next level of complexity. We will cover only one component type. It will be a popover. It sounds like a very simple component, but there are a few underwater rocks that I believe it's important to know before to start, or what actually you need to cover when you work on popovers. So I believe now is the best moment to say, I like it. If you like it, leave any comments. If I will be unclear on something, I didn't cover some points that you're interested in, please let's leave the comment and we continue next time. I will explain something that was missed. Meanwhile, I think we easily can say, let's go. So here's the file we were working previous videos where we have the atoms, say avatars, breadcrumbs, button, etc. We will use some of them in our today work, and we will use the styles that already exist that we create together, right? But we'll start unpacking this new chapter which calls molecules, and we work specifically on popovers. So before to start, let's try to figure out what actually the architecture, what the structure of popovers by itself. And here what we can figure out. First I need some tools. Yes, please. So if I'm going to select some tool and say, okay, what actually popover? It's a list of items, right? So imagine we have items, let's say like this, right? And I copy it. Okay, we cannot see them, but I do this on purpose because I would like to make it on the background, to make it as a popover by itself. So it has some corner radius and paddings and etc. Maybe it should be even more. I need to figure out, depends on the styles you have. So this is basically a popover, yeah, in a nutshell. So it's something when you click on a button, let's say options, and you have this guy that has the options inside. And what could be complicated there? This is the simplest thing, at least it looks like. But the complexity actually is the items of popover, because the structure of the item in popover is not so simple as it seems. So what actually there could be? By itself, it has leading part. Yeah, now we will do the structure to understand. So we have the leading part. It includes icon, checkboxes, avatars. We have the label of the item. There will be text. Could be subtext also. So it's not always one line of text. And we have trailing part. It could be badge, it could be pill, it could be icon, it could be chevron, many options also, right? So let's just like this. So that's what we need to create right now, the item by itself. And also need to set the states for each of them. So hover, focused, how actually it works. Let's start first with design and figure out, okay, what we would need for this. First, we would need text, obviously. So we go on with the text and saying popover item placeholder, right? So we at least start with this and we figure out the text we already have in our design system, and we have body 2. This is our regular one. And I also would like to have a subtext, right? So we have a subtext already set here. So will be our middle. This is the easiest part. What would really need from us is just to set the color by itself. We can see the gray, that's 900. Okay, now I do the outer layout and I set the difference, something very small because it's important. And actually for the subtext, I will change the style to make it be not so intense. Yeah, so my secondary color for the text, I put it here. Okay, this is our middle part. Now we start with the other stuff. What actually we need? We need icon, as already was mentioned. We would need avatar, let's say just one, yeah, here. Okay. Okay, now we have avatar. Now we need an icon. I will not go to foundation file. We did. Okay, actually, I will. Okay, I need to fight with my laziness, right? So let's see. Where are my icons? Here they are. So I use the font awesome for this, so it will be easy for me. Go into components. Going down to my slide, collecting the elements. Okay, so we have icon by itself. And what is missing right now is the checkbox. Checkbox, I believe we didn't cover with our inputs because normally it's a part of the inputs itself. It will be a toggle, checkboxes, and etc. etc. So we invent now very quickly something. Okay, and so I can accelerate a bit to not make you bored with this, right? Okay, so what actually happened here? Why I did it in this way? There is no hover states. It's just very quick component just to have it in the popover item and understand how it could work. Okay, this is a help component, not properly set. Yeah, this also green, not good. But why so dark? Let's do something. Okay, it looks like I have no enough colors in this design system for some reason. That's good. Let's go with this one. Okay, so we would need this guy. Mhm. Yeah. If you saw, I adjust a little bit to be the same size with these ones. Yeah. Okay. And we see that the icon so much bigger, but I believe 16 is the smallest we did. Yeah. Okay. Let's then go to 12 maybe. And this one is why is so small? Good question. Let's go with 16. It will be our general size, and I will start with this. If it would be not enough, then we adjust. Okay, so here we have leading components. We make them, it doesn't matter, this space, yeah, pretty much it's not important. Will be our leading part. And okay, Figma doesn't want to share. Okay, let's do again. And rename. Leading. Okay, now we need to set the trailing part. I still see that this one is slightly bigger than it should be because we have these borders. They're outside, we can put them inside. It's not fair because in development it will be outside, not inside always. But for design, right now we will work with this one. Okay, so what do we need for the trailing? As I mentioned, we would need also icon, we would need a pill. Oops, that's the base. We take this one. Pill, badge, and icon. Yeah, so we would need icon also. Hello, beauty. Okay, and let me see if I have any badge. Did we do any badge? No. Okay, so I will reuse pill as a badge, just change the colors in this case. But let's see, it will this. The idea here, it will be a bit reverse order because it's better to have icon at the end. It will work as a chevron, whatever horizontal or down, it will, the right or down, you will use it, but it's better the badge to have before. Yeah. What else could be? I would suggest to have a few icons because for example, ellipsis vertical, we can have options, right? If it's needed, we have a chevron. And let's say it will be down in our case. Right? And you can figure out, okay, what actually it is. Let's work a little bit on the pill. by default, we don't need definitely move it nowhere. Icon in Avatar, definitely not, but sometimes could be. We see that the size changed, unfortunately, but it's okay. And so leading items, we can move all of them then, I believe, and remove normally also not. Okay, we can use gray, and it will work also as a badge. And let's say there will be a counter. Yeah, so counting the something we have in this item. Yeah, so this will be trailing. Okay, let's try again. Doesn't work. Ew. Sharing Figma doesn't work. Let's try again. Trailing. Okay. Now I can put them together. That's right. We need just very small break between them. We see the alignment. We see the sizes. Okay, it's not so bad actually. And now we can set the item by itself. So what actually item, how it looks. We're saying, okay, we need to set paddings. We're going with, let's say, 8 pixels. Why it's important to have paddings? Because when you have a hover state, it's important to have this space not cut, like limited by the content inside your item. So that's why we're working on it. Okay, I would set also the border radius also, because on a hover it would be nice to see it as a component with the slightly smooth edges. Again, depends on your styles, whatever you do. So this is our basically say of the basics. I would slightly increase maybe so far the space between them, and now we will do the prop. Yeah, the background also is better to have. This is it. Now we can set as a component properly all the variants, properties, and etc. Right? Okay, let's make a component. It's what we need. We will start with setting booleans. Yeah, let's say, for example, say leading. Oh, leading items. True. Create property. We say trailing items. Trailing items. Done. Now we're going to more specific, right? We're saying we have a checkbox. Yeah, try again. Something wrong with typing today. Okay, create. Let's go again. What we have next is the icon. Just in case, I can put leading icon, because when we see the all properties, sometimes it's easy to navigate when we have this leading in front, even if it's already will be in a group of leading. Okay, then we're going with another boolean with this say avatar. Okay, and now we're going to the other one. We're going to, let's say, badge. Okay, and a bit slow. Everything is driving me crazy. Okay, chevron and action button. It could be plus, it could be option, it actually could be both, depends on what kind of popover it is. So action icon. Okay, it could be both, to be honest. So in this case, you need to already start, maybe have extra. Okay, I will show it. We're creating a little bit monstrous right now, but why not? So we're saying add. And also in the component by itself, we will add action. It will be action other, the 2 action buttons. Okay, and okay, let's do this. Add button icon. Okay, so this it with the booleans. Now we start with important things. Normally, Popover always has label. If for some cases you don't need label, okay, you don't need label. There's just the icons there. I don't know. So in this case, you can put boolean also on the middle part with the labels. But in our case, I will go in with the string, with the text. Right? It will be, let's say, popover item placeholder. Okay. Okay, popover a label. And we're saying popover item and placeholder. Great. This is it. And now we're going to another one, which is would be subtext. Subtext, sublabel you'd find, yeah. Okay, hope over subtext placeholder. Okay. Now we can link everything because we see here everything is not connected. Yeah, and that's actually what we will work also, how will work, what will appear on the hover, what will be in the permanent state. Okay, so let's quickly set all the stuff. We need to set this one in, it's in a lead-in. We have a checkbox. We have the icon, lead-in icon, lead-in items, lead-in icon, and avatar. Yes, and all together they are lead-in items. Done. Okay, now we go in here and this is trailing items. This will be a badge. Oops. Wait a second. Up. This going a badge. This going to be a chevron. Yeah, pop in all the time. Figma, because it depends on properties of each component. This is an icon. And we have action icon. Okay, now regarding the text. We're saying this is a popover item. And this is a popover subtext. What I will do as the boolean for the text, it will be subtext, because subtext, it's not always needed. Oops. Okay, and we set this as a subtext. Okay, so now we're going here and saying, yes, we set up all of the components. Now we have them all together. This is pretty much what will contain our popover item. And we said next, I would say, I would organize all this stuff in the way how they are. So we're saying, okay, we have leading items. So checkbox going under here. And then we're going avatar. And then we're going a leading icon. Yeah. Then we have a text. So it's pretty much how my component structure is. So when I will manage it, will be easier to check, to change, because it will be exactly following the component by itself. Okay, so we're going subtext, and then we're going subtext, text. Okay, and then we're gonna have this. Need to slightly move the add icon, and voila, we have it. Perfect. So what we do next? Now we need to set a different states for it. So in this, we're going to the variant, and it will be hover, and this will be default. So we're saying state default hover. So how actually will look our hover? I will do this gray right now and say, okay, it will be gray 100, right? In general, I would say that we always can remove parts, and whatever is happening on the item by itself, like there's never an option or add button on the default states and only on hover, then it means you need to delete it from the idle one and keep it just on hover. Okay, then we need to have a focus one. What is focus? In this case, for the item, it could be selection. If it's you can select an option, like literal select, so it should be showing, yes, this is selected. Let's see if I have it. Okay, some blue. Okay, not bad. So this is selected. Also, the focus pretty often it depends how work your company, how work your team. It's better to talk with developers what states they need, because it could be focus. In this case, it's more like active. We even can say it's inactive instead of focus. Usually. Yeah, let's say it's active because it's what my current selection. Then we can have a really focus one. The focus will be used for keyboard navigation, yeah, to improve. So in this case, I would add some stroke. This is also not the best behavior. It means in all all states there should be a stroke. If I don't want popping on the focus state, I need to avoid to add it as the border. But okay, what I'm saying, it means if I want to have a border at one of the states, I need to add border to all of my states. Yeah, let's do this quickly. I will do this right now. You can use the same color as the background, so it wouldn't be visible. Again, yeah, it's outside. So here we're saying it should be gray hundreds, and here should be blue hundreds. Oops, maybe blue hundred. Okay, and you guy going outside. That's it. And now we can also set a disable. It's not always needed, but in some cases, for permission reasons or any other scenarios, billion. So let's say we can set a disabled. Yeah, so it pretty much will affect mostly the icons and everything because it wouldn't be clickable. So we set the background first, something darker. That's okay. You cannot. It's white by default. Sorry, darker. It's a really heavy after holidays to talk. Okay, we need to pale out the labels. It means that, okay, it's a pretty common practice to show that whatever you have to say, you can see it, but you cannot interact with this. So I would suggest to use something like maybe 400 will be better, but it's in a weird position. Let's try 400, different shade. Okay. It means that actions like checkboxes also should be disabled, but because we don't have any state, because my component is a bit different, okay, I can also quickly create the disabled one. Yeah, this is how design system works in general. You start creating something and it's one pulling another, and you cannot really do something independently. It's always all the same thing. If you miss something and you start working this and like, oh my, I need to fix this, I need to create this, and like, okay, it's really not a quick work. You need to focus on it. You need to be in a good state of mind to understand, okay, I totally understand what I'm doing. I totally can handle it. Yeah, I can manage it. I understand. Another thing, the actions also should be. This is interesting. Okay, the actions also we will pale out because they should not be clickable. I will do a little bit. Okay, who's changed? Okay. Yeah, I see. There's some issues with 500 I put. Yeah, okay, so this is our the icon is not problem. If you feel like it will be more balanced, we also can pale it out. Yeah, 500. Okay, 500, I have two frames. Okay, this is it. So now how it works, I will set the interaction straight away. So this will be on hover. Yeah, because it's our hover state. This will be on click. So it's becoming this one. Focus I will not use because it's for navigation only, and disabled it's also like individual case. Okay, let's say popover item. And I would say it's base. Why actually it is a base? Because popovers could be also in different sizes. So it means whatever I created right now, I need to set for these different sizes. Sizes, the basic of this, it will be three. Yeah, like small, medium, and large, like everything we have, and it will affect it by paddings and the font size. The font size I suggest to change just in case of the small or X small if you have, but try to keep it's pretty much what it is, easier to read. Yeah. Okay, so this we create a new component, and we straight away create a new state. Let's say that will be medium. Will be small, and we need one more that will be large. Okay, and then we say size. Important thing that I didn't do, but I'll remember. While I remember, let's do this together. Need to add nested properties. So instances, because when we will handle all these component, the item by itself, we already add so many things inside, and to edit it, you need to go inside. So this is the best practice to have nested. So let's say check boxes, yes, because it will be easy for us to figure out yes or no. Or we can also here set that the checkbox is actually yes. So when it's selected is yes. This is it. While I remember, okay, it's the age, guys. I need to think of stuff. This is will be also hovering for us. Okay. The only thing here, it cannot be reverse, but we will not cover it in this. It's possible to not cover this. Okay. So let's go into the nested instances. And nested instances. Okay. The icon, definitely yes. Avatar, definitely yes. A pill, I would avoid it in this case because we use it more like a counter, like a badge instead of pill. So maybe I will say no. The chevron also no. For add button, no, because we say it as an add button. But for the action, it could be any other action. So we say yes for this one. Okay. That's what I said. So now when I go in here and I need the sizes, this is will be small. So I need to reduce the popovers we use, the paddings we used. Let's say it will be 4. And we maybe keep the same edge. So we will always have the same width, the spacing on the side. It's just reducing this. But I would change this to body 3. Yeah. And well, subtext is hard to change in this case because this is the smallest we have, I believe. Yeah, we didn't set any 8s, but so let's do like this, and then we're going to the mid and the large. The large we're going to increase it to 12. Oops, they're keeping 8. Yeah. So this is pretty much that how will affect the popover by itself. That's we say popover item and popover item. Great. That's it. Now we can place it in the, let's say take mid. Place it in these guys. Yeah. Set the space, the gap, it will be, let's say 8. That's too much. We can do like 12, so double less and double less and hug. Okay, so imagine this is our popover. I need just to set the settings, but very quick what actually we did. We can check it on a preview. And thinking, but almost there. We almost there. Come on, Figma, you can do it. And yeah, okay, so this is our, you can see that this reacts into my navigation. So I'm hovering, I see this, yeah, and I can click it. But because I hovered, yeah, it's still hover. So this is the basic, and what is actually left is the set to something specific. Okay, so this actually pretty much we finish it. It could be a component by itself, but I would not use the component. Maybe use the new feature that Figma launched not so much time ago. And what's so slow? And instead of creating a popover component, it brings the complexity. So what I'm talking, let me focus a bit. When you use the popover as a component and you need to change everything, it's all the time issue. You need to break it and etc. So I would suggest just to reuse the component as the items. I know with the new feature you can set it in a new way, but we will cover this in another video, how to use the new features in Figma. But this is your popover, and I believe that we can actually say popover. And it's already can be used, reused, copied, and placed whatever you need it. That's all. It's not so complex. It's pretty easy when you know where actually pay attention, how set your popover item, and I believe you learned something new. Please let me know if something wasn't clear or I was too fast or too slow. Give me some feedback so next videos I can be better. Meanwhile, if you didn't put like, don't forget to put it now, and don't forget to subscribe if you didn't. And for sure, I very would like to say you thank you to watching this video. Please join my channel, and I hope we will see you very soon. Bye bye.